There are 80 minutes of rugby between the All Blacks in a historic World Cup final, and their opponents in tomorrow's semi-final, England, have never beaten the All Blacks in a World Cup. But there's a first time for everything, and some say this is England's best chance. That sounds almost sacrilegious, doesn't it? New Zealanders here will be glued to the screen from 9 p.m. tomorrow night, including the staff and students of Francis Douglas Memorial College in New Plymouth. And there's no prizes for guessing who they're going to be watching out for. It's Barretts all the way, especially now that Scott Barrett is the surprise starting selection at blindside flanker. Scott is joining his brother Beauden in the starting 15 with Jordie coming off the bench. Our Taranaki Whanganui reporter Robin Martin is in their hometown and visited their old school.
The Barrett brothers are all Francis Douglas old boys and starred in the school's first 15. Deputy Principal Tim Stuck had the pleasure of coaching all three. Not that he's taking the credit for where they've ended up.
I think their work ethic and their understanding of the game, but it stems from probably playing footy in the backyard and then going to school down the coast, coming into Francis Douglas Memorial College and then heading on to a greener pasture as well.
Don't want to take too much of the credit yourself?
Absolutely not. No, there's a number of coaches that they've had along the way that have had an impact, and I suspect the environment that they're in at the moment, those coaches have done a pretty good job with them.
But Mr. Stuck reckons there could just be something in the water at Francis Douglas.
Yeah, it was nice to see 20% of the team on Saturday was All Blacks. Hopefully this week it's another 20%. Hey, listen, I think the boys here just want to improve every day, whether that be in school or out in the sporting field. And I think it's a bit of a culture around here to be the best that we can be, and certainly it shows that they've done that.
As for which Barrett is best, Mr. Stuck leaves it for others to decide. First 15 player Abraham Matatini opts for a forward.
For me, it's probably Scott Barrett. You know, he's got the biggest work rate on him, I'd say.
Year 11 student Noah Lash is looking for Jordie to make an impact from the bench.
Yeah, it's got to be Jordie. Yeah, my favourite. It's got to be Jordie because he's like massive and he can just kick from anywhere.
When pressed, Caleb Fleming gives the nod to the elder brother.
Oh, Barrett family, definitely.
Who's the Barrett extraordinary?
Oh, got to be Beauden. Unreal. It's unreal.
And it's Abraham, perhaps, who sums up best what it means to the school when the Barrett brothers don the black jersey.
They're the legends of the school, legends of Taranaki. Everyone loves them. They're definitely people to aspire to be, you know. They carry the school out there with them when they're playing, and it's just awesome to watch. It's kind of why I came to the school, really. But yeah, it's definitely something to aspire to and work hard towards.
At a downtown watering hole, the president of the Taranaki Rugby Supporters Club, Grant Hassel, says there is an immense sense of pride in what the Barretts have achieved, even if only one of them has ever pulled on the jersey of the mighty Amber and Blacks.
I think from a Taranaki perspective, it's the fact that they're just one of us. And it gives that realism, I suppose, that actually it doesn't matter if you're from Palmerston North, Ponsonby or Pangarehu. This New Zealand All Black side is something that encapsulates you all.
And as an old boy of New Plymouth Boys High School, Mr. Hassel had to reluctantly acknowledge the role of Francis Douglas in their success.
I have to be careful about that, but you've got to tip your hat to the success that Francis Douglas has had in the last few years in terms of producing high quality rugby players. Of course, Liam Coltman is also in Japan at the moment, and he was also educated at the college. And not so far back, of course, Conrad Smith also went through there.
As for how the tournament's going to play out, Noah Lash has got it all figured out.
It's got to be All Blacks. I reckon we're going to come in over England.
Score?
I'm going to say it's going to be pretty close, so maybe about like 20-16 or something.
And the final?
I reckon it's going to be Wales, New Zealand. I reckon we'll crush Wales though. Be like 30-15 maybe.
All Blacks on 3! 1, 2, 3!
I ngā mutu mo te hōtaka o te ahi ponei, ko Robin Martin ahau.